What's up, everybody? Welcome to Epic Stage Journeys and Then Some. My God, you're not going to believe this guy I got on today. This is a fun one. I've known this guy for God going on 40 years, maybe something like that. But he's cool, he's fun,
Close.
and it's pretty interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, the world famous Leo Arzon right there. What's up, Leo? You can talk.
Not much. How are you, Gavin? Good to see you, bro. What's up,
I'm
man?
doing good, man. Good to
Thank you
see
for
you.
having me,
Good to
man.
see you. I'm glad to have you.
Just
I mean, we've got some shit to spill here. I'm telling you. So yeah, it's good to see you, man. We've been talking
yeah, we
back and
got a little
forth, but
bit.
I don't get to see you much. We're separated by a whole 60
Yeah,
miles, so we don't get to see each other much. But
something
so
like that.
you and I met. God, we met back in the '80s, late '80s, somewhere around there, because we were living next door to each other
Late
at one
80s,
time.
early 90s, around there.
Yeah, it was.
What's
Yeah, it was right
that?
around there, and
Yes, yeah, we did.
it was right around there. Yeah. And so it was, we
With
got
the
to know each
Hindenburg and
other.
all that.
And yeah, we were talking, and you said you played in a band. And I said, oh, yeah, we play. So I play the drums. And I said, oh, cool. I play the drums too. And I said, what's your band? And you said the Hindenburg. And I thought, okay. And he said, yeah, we're a
Yeah.
Zeppelin cover band. And I went, oh, isn't he cute? He's going to play some John Bonham. I thought, boy's got to
yeah.
set his biggest church bell to do that. I mean,
We hit
it
it
was
off right
interesting.
away, though.
Yes, we did, and you invited me out one
Yeah,
night to come watch
it
you guys
was,
play, and I don't remember where we went, but we went out. I went out and heard you play, and you fucking blew me away, man. I thought,
probably
my
could have
God,
been
he
the
covered
basement.
it to a T. It could have been, but I mean, you covered it to a T, and I thought, not many people dare even take a step into that realm, but you did, and I mean, you handled it like a pro, and I thought. After that, I thought, yeah, I got to be this guy's friend because maybe I can learn something from him. But you play everything else too. You play what? Guitar, keys, bass. I mean, you're one of those guys that I hate because you play everything.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, even if I didn't, that you play all that stuff, you probably hate me anyway. No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, just over the years, man, just trying to keep playing and finding people to play with. I just tried to learn everything myself, man. But
Yeah.
getting
Did you
back to
cut
those
your hair
Hindenburg
again?
days, man. What's that?
Did you cut your hair again?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you
I got rid of
did. Oh,
all
you
that.
cut it all off again. Okay.
Yeah,
That
it,
that
it comes and goes, man, and it's one of those things.
that's the fun
But
thing
yeah,
about
back in
getting
those
old. You
days,
cut all your hair off.
yeah. But what was I going to say? But yeah, no, I had a good time. But coming and hanging out with you though, when you worked at those clubs though, man, holy smokes, those were not real places I should have been hanging out in anyway.
No,
But
no,
the
no,
country
no. You.
clubs when you played the DJ over there on Park Lane,
Oh God. All
that was a
those.
long time ago.
That was, yeah, it was. We were talking
I
about that
mean,
was that a friend of mine, Eric Love, was on the last one, and he and I talked about it, and we couldn't believe how long it's been already that we did all that stuff,
that
and
we're still
it was
alive.
we're still alive. That's the amazing
God,
thing is that we all lived through that crap. So
thank God,
so
man.
you were you were one of those guys that we would go out and I say, okay, I'm bringing a friend with me now. Let me explain something about him. He's he's a little out there. He gets a little crazy, but he does okay. He's good. He's fun to play. He's fun to play with, but he's just you got to watch him. You'll lose him if you don't keep an eye on him. So
Yeah, I like to wander off, man.
yes, you do. That's all right.
That's okay. Avoid witnesses, man. That's why I say.
That's it. That's
Right.
glad. I'm just glad we never had cameras on our phones, so we didn't have to worry about all that crap.
Oh,
Now
it was
these.
a different time, man.
Oh yeah, it was a complete and total different time. And let me see if I can pull this up. I know I've got it somewhere here. I've got to show it. Oh, there it is, right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you the world famous Hindenburg. There they are right there. Look at that young kid in the front there.
Uh-oh.
That was, God, how
Oh,
old were you then?
yeah. That says it all right there, that attitude. Man, oh
So,
man.
how
That
old
was
were you then?
24, 25, maybe 20. Yeah, 24, 25, probably.
Okay, yeah, because I'm just a year behind you, I think,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
so
think that was.
yeah, it was that's long, it was a while
Oh
ago.
man, that
The
if
funny, the funniest thing that you did was when you gave because I had this because you remember when you had me go out and try to get you guys bookings and stuff
oh yeah,
back in the day, and I'll never forget that was such a pain in the ass, and it wasn't because of you guys, it was because of the clubs, because I would like, I'd call and get you booked into like DCL or the basement or something.
hmm,
And then I would go to another place. I think it was another place called On the Rocks or something.
yeah, yeah,
And you remember that? And
oh yeah,
so I got you booked in like it was, I think it was either DCL or the basement. And then that was all squared away. And then I got a hold of On the Rocks and they wanted to take you guys in. And so I said, okay, cool. So I got you booked in there. And then they called me back like maybe the next day, may have been that day, and they said, "Oh no, they can't play here." And I was like, "Well, what's the problem?" Well, because they're booked at that other club before us, and so they can't play here for. And I was like, "Do you guys not cross promote? Do you not talk to these other clubs and cross promote each other and stuff? These bands and stuff?" No, hell no, we don't do that, man. No, you can't. And I was like, and I tried, and he just was not giving up. He was an ass, and I finally said, "Fine, if you don't want to do it, cancel it. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me." But
right.
I mean, it mattered to you guys because you guys were making the money. But I never understood that. I
But
never
I was
understood
with you
that
on that
philosophy.
though. Yeah, I never got
Yeah,
that either, man. We had those issues across the board, but we would never screw the clubs that were always good to us, though. We would never cancel on them, If they,
no, and
you
to me,
said,
it would be smart. It'd be smart if the club would go, hey, if you guys take a little window and announce your next where you're playing next and say that and just cross promote. That's all
yeah,
you're doing. You're just helping each other out. That's all you're doing.
yeah, yeah.
But
No,
he just would not bend on that.
I didn't know.
Who was it? Who was it that you pissed off that I need to know about? Who was it you pissed off when you went in and they mic'd your drums, but you don't have a hole cut in your kick drum head. You mic it just like Bonham did.
Yeah, yeah.
Who was that you pissed off?
God, dude, there were a lot of guys that didn't like
Was
that.
it? I
Uh,
I I
Bad
the
people.
name that comes
Go
the name
ahead.
that comes to mind, the name that comes to mind for me was Hobie Dacus.
Well, yeah,
He
I
was
mean, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, poor. You may rest in peace. I don't know if he's still with us.
yes,
But
amen.
yeah,
No,
man,
he's not. He's gone. But
yeah, I had to get Ed. Said, man, dude, if you Ed's a recording engineer, and I knew how to tune my kit, especially when you have both heads like this and they're wide open. And I told him, if I got to put a head, I'm out, man. I could have put a hole in there. I said, I'm not doing it. So Ed said, dude, you gotta let him just do the sound check. And so when I clocked into those damn things, he came on and said, man, I'm sorry, dude. You know how many guys we don't know how to tune their kits when they come through here, but it was always important to know how to do that. If you want to play
well,
like
yeah,
this,
you've got yours tuned to the T, man. I mean, it sounds great, and you didn't need the whole cut in the head, and hell, Bonham did it forever. So what makes you any different? But other than that, fact, but it has to be tuned right. But you
right.
always had yours done right. It was always good. So
Yeah, yeah.
and plus you knew how to play, which sucks. And
Well,
because
you know,
well, it's like I heard you play, and I was like, fucker. It's like, geez,
I
he
just
had to be.
always had fun beating the hell out of those things, man.
Yeah, you did. I mean, I've watched. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, if you're gonna play, I like to hit them, man. Just like the guitar when I play. I like to play guitar like I play the drums. I try to break the strings when I hit these damn things. Because I got it right here in case, I got to show off a little bit.
There you go. Hey, you just you want to jump into something, go right ahead.
Yeah, well, it's funny
Not
because
hurting nothing.
people will hear my stuff and go, that because I don't use any computer editing or anything. I just record onto a Tascam DP01 and use the EQ that's on there, no outboard gear or anything, and I just record everything live. I don't cut and paste anything. And I always tell people, come over and I'll do a track for you because they say you don't use any computers or anything. But man, I just love, I love playing. And that's okay if you use computers and you like to do it that way. But for me, it's more fun to play it and make the noise and just try to, not screw
No,
it up.
I appreciate that because you're an old school. You're like
Yeah.
me. We're old school, and it's God rest his soul. A sound guy that we used to work with, Scott Rogers. We used to call him Truck Stop, but
Hmm.
he was that guy. He was an analog guy, and I could give him a box of chicken shit, and he'd give you a chicken salad out of it. He
Yeah.
was that guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, he could take an old analog setup and man, he could make it sound like a dream. Where half
Yeah.
these guys are fumbling over digital and all that crap. But I mean, Scott never missed a beat with that. It just he didn't care. He goes, "I give it to me, I'll make it sound good. I don't care." But he was that old school guy that could do stuff like that.
Yeah. That's what I
And
like.
yeah, that a lot of people like that, and I've always enjoyed it. You know, some people go, "I can't do anything if it's not digital," and I said, "Well, that tells me you can't do anything then." So it's
Yeah.
ah,
I like hearing the little mistakes people make, like, you know what I mean? Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, it's just, they're human, man. They're out there really, they're playing,
well, yeah. I mean, they're playing, they're just doing their thing, and it's just because just like this thing, there's gonna be a lot of mistakes on this thing right here. So I'm liable to screw up anything at any given time. So, but you were and then you and I worked together at. You helped me out. You helped me get into that. We worked at the record label. We were at RCA Nashville at that time, weren't we? Because
I was there, but I don't know if I was there with you at the same time, was I?
you were, yeah, we were there at the same time. But you hooked me up with Ginger McFadden.
Oh, that's
I
holy
remember
my
her.
God, that's right. I forgot about that. Oh my God.
Yeah, Ginger McFadden, and
Holy
her dad was McFadden and Associates out in Nashville. He was an agent for oh God,
right. Everybody. I mean,
Keith Whitley and
Waylon
yeah,
Jennings, Billy Ray Cyrus, all those guys.
oh yeah, he did all that stuff. So and she was at RCA and you got me in with her
That's right.
and what did I get to do? I got to do the Gavin report. She did the Billboard and I did Gavin. So
Yeah, man.
Gavin did Gavin. So
Man, I forgot man, it's, so much went on back in those days, man.
I
It was
know it was just a lot.
it was nonstop, man. Yeah, I got to, I worked a lot with country music too for Arista Records, and I got to deal with a lot of those people like Martina McBride, Diamond Rio, Alabama, just all those, and they were real nice folks. I'm not a country guy, but the people were really cool, man.
Yeah, I did. I did an event with Martina. That's been several years ago, but I was talking to her manager, and we were just sitting and visiting. And I had a picture of her when we were at the office here in Dallas.
Yeah.
At the office there, Martina was there, and I took a picture with her, and I still had it. And I had Tracy email it to me, and I put it in my phone. And so I told him, he goes, "Have you ever worked with Martina?" And so, yeah, I said, I've met her a couple times, and I showed him my picture, and he goes, "Holy shit, man, that was like her first album, I think." And I said, "Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was
That's so
when she
cool.
came out."
I remember when they came up there. Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Yeah, she was really nice, and
There's,
her husband's been her husband's her front of house guy, has been for years, but yeah, it was just really nice to kind of get back in touch with them. It was kind of neat to talk to them, but I don't, you don't get that too many opportunities, but that was just a funny one. I thought that was pretty funny when that
that's
happened. So,
wild. Man, God, that was just some wild times back then, man. Yeah, that was like,
we survived. We
yeah,
survived.
yeah. I'm still surviving. I'm trying.
I'm glad. I know you are.
You too.
I'm getting there. It's just been, God, one thing, one doctor after another. It's just
Man, I
on and
know,
on and on.
man. I hear you, bro.
I need to clarify one thing real quick to all the animal lovers out there. In our last recording we did with my friend Eric Love, my dog knows how to open the door to my studio, and he'll just come in and say, "Hey, what's going on?" And just chill out. Well, he came bum rushing into the studio the last time we were recording, and I went, "That damn dog's back in here again." And I told Eric, I said, "I'm getting ready to have to shoot that dog." And he said, "Don't you shoot that dog." And I said, so I just want everybody to know right now, I did not shoot the dog. He's still alive. He's my family. He's my kids. So
Yeah.
just I don't want to get all crazy and everything.
No,
I
you're
just
not
want to
like that.
clarify that. But because I heard your dog. What kind of dog do you have?
Australian Shepherd.
Ah, that's a work dog.
She's got the ability to bark always at the most inopportune time. Always.
No,
As
I
you
got
hear.
two of those that are like that. So
Yes.
exact. I mean, I got two that are just like that. So
Yeah.
damn good. I'm so glad we survived all this crap, and we can all sit down and laugh about it now and
Yeah.
go, "Whoa, we were stupid back then."
Oh my God. I was really mouthy too, man.
Yes, that's why I had to warn everybody about you because you were a mouthy little shit. I
I
mean,
had
you
a
were
hard
all over the place.
I had a hard time taking shit from a lot of people the way things were going back then, you know. You had to
No,
step in and collect some stuff for me at one time. Remember that?
yeah, I had to kind of keep an eye on you. I love you, but I had to keep an eye on you every once in a while because you might pop off, and I like go, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just I don't know, man. But you had to come in and I was trying to get some money from a guy at a club, and I'm not going to mention the club or anything. And I kept telling the guy, you know, you shorted me an X amount of money. I think it was like 350, and he was having a hard time giving it to me. I said, "Dude, we had a deal." So I said, "Well, hold on a second. I remember you came out to the club that night, and I said, hold on a second. Remember I came and I got you, and I said, just come in there and stand with me. I'm going to ask for the money, and if he doesn't give it to me, I'm going to tell him to give it to you and see what happens." And sure enough, man, I said, "You either give it to me or you give it to him." And he looked at you and he reached in and he got the money out and he gave me the money. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I try to help where I can. It's like
So
I got to
much,
keep
man. So many damn crazy.
got to keep an eye out for my clients, man. You know how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hey, did you get down to South Beach?
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I saw those
Oh
eyes light
man,
up all of a sudden.
I had to get out for a little. I just wanted to go by myself somewhere, and I thought South Beach was a good place to go, man. And sure enough,
I,
I went.
I I told you it would be if you got down there.
Yeah,
So, how long were you down there for?
I went down there for about 3 days, 4 days, and
Mhm.
I just hung out, did nothing but, hung out and uh,
I
observed.
like how you just kind of hung out.
Had, had
Hey,
a good time, man. It was really nice, man.
Chicas
I'm
and
gonna go
Chica.
back.
Back in the day, it'd have been Chicas and booger sugar. That's all it was. And
Oh
you
my
just,
God, man. It was. I had fun. It was very sweet.
I I bet you did. I bet you did.
You had a good time. I mean, you've been down there, the beach. I mean, it's beautiful. It's the beach, and you get to walk on the beach and hang out, and
Yep.
you know, very innocent. Good times.
Fun.
Cheers.
Yeah, good times.
But with you, man, I
Good
remember
times.
you worked at that one club, man, and I used to go hang out with you, and you used to DJ. Remember that on Park Lane and Greenville
Park.
area? I went there a few times. Maybe it wasn't, but man, I remember those are some
Was
places.
it was it a, was it a country bar or was it
Yeah,
a
it was
dance
a
club?
country bar.
Oh, that had to have been that's long gone. That was borrowed money. I think it was
It
that
could have
was
been, man. I just know some of
I
those
think it
places,
was.
a guy like me didn't belong in there. And I remember I got stopped once and you were in the truck. Remember, I don't know if you remember that. And they thought I was somebody else. And I'm thinking, man, that's all I need right now. And then you stepped out and those guys go, all right, I guess that's not who we're looking for.
No, yeah, yeah, parking over in that area, that would have been borrowed money. That was kind of short lived. I think I was there. I don't even think I was there for a year because they came and poached us out and they drug us over to Cowboys on Gaston.
Yeah. And then that was the other place.
And yeah, they took me and they took the manager and he said I'd go, but you have to take Gavin and I think he brought uh I think I brought the lighting guy with me. I think Jeff Hollywood was the lighting guy there, and I think he came with me as well. And that's what started that fiasco. That was a long run there because I was just there temporarily in Dallas until they got the Arlington place open, and then they moved me to Arlington. That was
Yeah.
the whole plan to begin with. So, and once we got to Arlington, dude, it was lights out. I mean, it was just we were running 900 miles an hour every single day.
Man. Yeah. Yeah. Because we did promo shows with Arista Records there at that Cowboys place a couple of times.
Yeah, they did do those.
We did
They did those quite a bit. They would do showcases like that. I think
yeah.
Liz Calmer did one for. I think she did one for RCA at one time. I know Marty Hedden did his there. There were a few people that did them there. So
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's funny to look back because on top of all the other stuff, you try to get involved and stay involved with the music and all that. I was always doing the guitar show too as a drum tech for Mike Gage. Remember Mike Gage playing with Jimmy
oh
Wallace?
yeah, yeah. I was going to ask you about that if you were still doing that with Gage or not. I didn't
Well,
wasn't sure.
I last year was the first time I didn't do it in probably 30 or a little over 30 years because I just couldn't do it. But now with everything I
Wow.
got going on, I probably won't have a chance to do it this year because I'm trying to lift some stuff off the ground here. So
Yeah.
But I did it, and that's really inspired me a lot with the guitar playing, man, because you see so many different people that you haven't even heard of before, and you're like, holy smokes, where these guys
Well,
come?
yeah, I mean, the internet's just opened the thing wide open. It's just the thing's wide open. I'm a YouTube junkie, and so I just go through and I just fish through and just pick out videos I want to see.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
some of these drummers that are out now are just insane. I
Oh,
cannot
unbelievable.
believe it. I like Estepario out of Spain. That dude he's a whack job, man. He can
He's
what
insane.
he plays with one hand what most people couldn't play with 15 hands, and I just
Right.
watch and go, that's ooh.
Yeah, yeah, he's nuts, man. Even the little kids out there that are playing,
Yeah, I saw a little 9-year-old kid the other day playing Slipknot or something. I was like, holy
mhm.
crap!
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
wasn't missing a beat.
yeah. And it took me so long to get to where I am playing guitar because I didn't have that access, and plus I was trying to do the drums on top of everything else. But so that's why I've never really learned anybody else's music on guitar because I didn't have time. I had to learn what I could. So, I don't read music or anything. I barely know where the keys are at. However, I can still get away with doing what I do because, I don't have to count on anybody else trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing.
I didn't notice nobody's playing along with you, so you ain't got to worry about that. So
Yeah.
that's
Plus,
kind of cool.
I'm still playing with Ed from the old days, Hindenburg, actually from high school, and he knows how I play, so he's pretty
So what's
he
Ed doing now? What's he doing
oh
nowadays? Is
man,
he
dude, he's one of the top amp repair guys around, especially vintage amp repairs. I mean, he
really?
repaired Joe Bonamassa's amp last year. Man, he's done a lot of stuff, man.
Well,
Yeah.
that's great.
So yeah, he's still playing. I'm getting him out playing a little bit here with me. I'm trying to get him he's going to help me out a little bit with this. We just can't find a drummer that can play kind of like what I need him to play like, which is kind of like me, but
Well, that I'm out, so can't help you there. So, but
somebody's out
no,
there that can do it.
yeah, there's got to be somebody out there that you can find that can do it for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, but that's cool though. He's doing repairs like that now. I
Yeah,
can't believe he did
he's
Bonamossa's.
there's a top cat, went out there and repaired one of those Dumble amps, those rare Dumbles, and then the guy Dumble died of what maybe last year, a couple years ago. And
Hmm.
matter of fact, Bonamassa, I just read, found one of the oldest Dumbles he had bought years before. I mean, he hit anything, I guess, and somebody found it for him. He just bought it, and he's got it again. This old one that he's had. Now he's got one of I guess it's a rare Dumble. He didn't make very many of any of them, but this one I guess is pretty rare. So yeah, but Ed's good at that stuff, man. I mean, he's got the niche. He stays away from the solid state stuff, but the tube amps, man. If you play tube amp, man, he's the guy to take care of that shit for you.
He knows how to fix it then.
Yeah,
So let's now that you're talking about you're doing your music and stuff, and I'm gonna just say congratulations what you did. You've worked your ass off. You've always worked your ass off, and I think it paid off this time. But I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna let you tell everybody what you did and how you did it and all that. And I'm talking about Norman's Rare Guitars out
oh
in L.A. And you did something for that documentary that
man, how cool, huh? Who would have thought, right? I mean, yeah, man, you just, throughout, everything, family life, everything, you get married, you go. I never gave up on playing. I always wanted to kind of keep that alive. Knowing at some point when I was able to, and my family got settled in, and my son was off from college, which he graduated a couple years ago. But I never gave up, man. I could play. But he was the one that was kept encouraging me to saying, "Hey, man, you're doing all this stuff. You learn how to play. You gotta put it out there." And I was like, "Man, nobody wants to hear that crap, man." So I started putting it out there, man. And so, and through the guitar show over the years, I heard about Norm's Rare Guitars years ago. So I've been hearing about him and reading about him. And then he got his website up. And of course, I saw a link that they were looking for some music for this documentary that they were doing. And so I thought, oh man, it was the last day that they were accepting tracks, and they were only going to give you an email that they got the track, and another email if you were accepted. So once I sent it in, of course, I forgot about it, and then God, it was a year later maybe. I got an email saying they wanted to use one of my tracks, and I was blown away, going, hell yeah, take it, use, do whatever you want with it, man. But regardless of the track, I mean, that was something that I got to play all the instruments on. I never thought I'd get anything out there with my name of it with any significance with me just doing everything. I thought I would always have a band, but it was just, thank God I never stopped, and I just kept playing and playing, and just taught myself guitar better. And I was trying to learn the keyboard now. But anyway, that the film finally came out December 31st. And I still can't believe it. You hear it, and then you see your name in the credits on Netflix, and
Yeah, I saw in the credits, and
crazy.
I encourage everybody out there. I tell everybody about it. I said, if you guys get a chance, go on Netflix and watch Norman's Rare Guitars.
Really
And I
good film,
said,
though, man.
It's
Regardless,
great.
good.
It's great. Oh man, all the players that go in and out, and it's just amazing all the people that he works with, and
Yeah,
then of
history.
course you've got your music in there, and so I think it paid off, man. So
Just don't
what's
give up.
next?
Keep on playing, man. Oh, what's next? You said.
Yeah, what's next?
Well, I'm still writing, man. I got a new one I'm doing now. I've got one I've got to do video to. I'm trying to put something so I can take out live, so I can get the Norm film out there a little bit as well. So that's what I'm working on. More new material, and just keep playing and trying to get this out there a little bit here. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to play a couple places out there and see what happens. Just
Yeah,
keep it going.
if you don't get captured down in South Beach or something like that, you should be
Well,
okay. So,
man, at this point, I'm open to anything, really.
you would I don't think you'd be too heartbroken about that if you got stuck in South
I
Beach for a
got
little
stuck
while.
down there. No, man.
Some
Actually,
little
I was finding an excuse to stay longer when I was down there. I was like,
Should have just found you a little Cuban beauty down there, just hung out.
holy smokes, man.
No sense of
Yeah,
no
rock
sense of
on,
messing
yeah.
it up.
Yeah, yeah. But that's it, man. Just playing and just kind of, man, just having a good time, man. I mean, I can't ask for anything more than just being blessed, really, by getting in norms that happening at this time in my life, man. I mean, that was a blessing from God for sure, man, because I, you know, I'm still, pinching myself and thinking, holy, this is pretty cool, man, to be associated not with just being in the movie, but to something of such historical value musically, as far as everything he's done and all the guitars and movies have been in, and not just that, but
Yeah.
everything he's done for people, his humanity, his heart, it's pretty amazing, what he can get people to come out and do and give, for others, which is
It was
another.
amazing. You'd watch. I was watching it where they had a girl was in there playing, and I don't remember who it was. And she finished up. She goes, "Man," she goes, "I really like this guitar." And he says, "Well, good, because such and such bought it for you." It was just a guy that was a customer of his that bought that guitar for her,
It's amazing, man.
and God knows what he spent on it. But then he goes into the vault and starts pulling guitars out,
Oh,
and I mean they were just
man.
stacked to the roof, just one room after another. It's amazing what he has in that
Can
place.
you imagine going through that, man?
No, because I'm not a guitar player, so I'm not a big
Well,
thing
just
about
going
that.
to Jimmy Wallace has got a beautiful place downtown, downtown Garland. It's like a museum, man. He's got all the vintage guitars. It's beautiful down there.
I've seen pictures of Jimmy's place, and yeah, it looks like he's got a lot of cool stuff in there. I haven't
Fantastic.
talked to Jimmy Wallace in a long time, but
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
I stay with him on social media, and I see pictures of his place and everything, and it looks nice.
it's beautiful.
He's
He's
got a
going
nice
strong
place.
as ever, too, man. Yeah,
That's great,
yeah. Got to keep it
and
alive, man.
he's still doing the guitar show and all that. So I mean,
Yeah,
he's
going
he's got it
strong.
all under control. Yeah,
Yeah,
good for
yeah,
him. I mean, he needs to.
yeah.
Oh my God, what else is going on?
Man, no, but just you had that bar in Ulysses. We talked about Pantera a couple of times, man, and man, you talk about I was trying to explain to somebody the vibe in those days, back like the '80s and '90s here, musically was insane.
Oh yeah, insane. It was.
I
It was
mean,
so good back then, and yeah, it was great. And of course, the Pantera boys they played a big part of that, and of course it was tragic when we lost Dime, and then of course when Vinny passed away a few years ago, that was hard too, because
absolutely.
they got to be friends, and it was when I owned my bar out up in the mid cities, and Vinny didn't live far, Dime didn't live far either, and I just remember that I'd get a call and it would be Dime, and he'd call the bar, And he'd go, "Hey, Gav." I said, "What you up to?" And he goes, "I'm heading your way." And I'd pull the phone down. I'd yell at Barb. She took care of the bar for me. I said, "Barb," I said, "Dime's on the way." And she turned around and goes, "How many?" And
Yeah.
I'd go, and I'd ask Dime, "How many?" He goes, "Line up 12." And so she'd like 12 shot glasses up and fill them up, put a black tooth in all of them, and just be waiting for him as he walked in. He'd walk in and just start passing them out to everybody, and everybody'd take a shot. And we did that. That was ongoing with him all the time.
Sure.
And of course, Vince would come hang out, and and at the bar as well. And they were just really good guys. They were great people.
That
Yeah,
was it.
people would look at him and go, he walked in one day. Dime came in the bar one day, and one of the customers goes, one of our regulars, old guy, sitting and goes, "Hey, your beard is red." And Dime goes, "Well, Halloween is coming up." He goes, but it's like it's March." And he said, "Well, it'll be here soon. Don't worry about it." Dime, and then Dime would buy everybody a drink. He just didn't care. He was just one of those guys. He was great. He was a good friend. He was good to know. He was fun. I had a lot of fun with him. Him and Vinny were great. And they're gone now, but hey, rest well, guys.
Oh, absolutely, man.
We'll all hook up again someday. You never know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Definitely down to earth. I got one story I don't tell too many people about, with Pantera, that I was at the basement one night hanging out. Ed Kilmer, who owned the basement at the time, was also a business teacher, and I happened to take some classes, and he happened to be the teacher. So anyway,
really,
I found out he owned it through some. Anyway, long story short, I was in there just hanging out one night, and he said, "Hey man, go hang out by the bar. I'm throwing everybody out. Pantera's on the way in." Cops show up, they put the basement shirts on, and here comes Pantera with all their people, man. Atlantic Records, videotapes going, the whole 9 yards, man, cameras. They apparently just signed the deal with Zima. And so, I mean, it was going nuts, man. Vinny was behind the bar making drinks for everybody. Ed Kilmer was walking behind the bar, making sure he was jotting down every drink that was going out. At that point, I was sitting next to Dime, and he said, "Hey, man, you want to introduce the Zima girls?" And I went, "Oh, yeah." Well, then that was another story, because, I mean, that's on hopefully film, So, man, dude, I got to do that. It was pretty chaotic, man, with all the Zima flying. I introduced these girls, put them on the couch. They sprayed beer all over them. It was about 4:30 in the morning, and I'm sitting next to one of the cops, man. And at that point, he whips out his gun, slams it on the bar, and he tells Vinny, "Now make me a real drink." And I went, "I'm out of here, man. That was it. That's all I had to do was that
gotta
guy."
go.
But that was
Firearms go out.
I'd run into those guys from time to time, but that was one night that was memorable, man. I'll never forget that night, man. That was just
There was so many of them at a time. When Vinny had the clubhouse, he had that topless bar, and when we would all close the bars down, well, we'd all head to the clubhouse because they were open until what, 4 or 5 or something, and
right.
so we'd always go there after we'd close up and just hang out, and it never failed that after that, then Vinny'd go, "Hey, come on, we're all going to the house," and so we'd all go to Vinny's house and hang out. And there was some morning you're driving home at 9 o'clock in the morning, going, "What the hell did I do?" And I got to go home and sleep for a couple hours. Got to go back and open the bar back up and do it all over again. It was cyclical, man. It was cyclical all the time. It was like, I got to go home and sleep for 30 minutes tonight so I can get back out and open the club back up and start
Right.
all over again. It was like, and when I say I'm amazed that we all lived through that, it's because I really am amazed that we all lived through
Oh
that.
man, yeah. Oh, dude, yeah.
It, it, it,
Oh
it was
man.
crazy.
I mean, and I think maybe we're a little smarter now, and we remember the pain of the past. That's why I don't repeat it, man. You know,
I don't either. No.
I try to be careful, but every once in a while it gets away from me. I still have the potential.
Every once in a while, it's not gonna. Oh, well, it might not kill you. I'll say that it might not kill you. So it's yeah, you can. I haven't. I'm trying to think when was the last time I slipped. I couldn't even tell you. I've gotten old and boring at this point. So
No, no way, man. Look what you're doing now,
I had
man.
to straighten up. I had to straighten up and try to fly right. But I retired last year
Yeah,
before last.
right.
And I had to, my body was going, you can't do, 17, 18, 19-hour days anymore. It's just not going to happen. And
Sure.
because I've got MS. So my body just says, nope, can't do that anymore. And so I just finally just said, I told everybody, I said, I'm done. I've got to back out. I just can't do it anymore. So I
Right.
just gave up everything I had booked, and I said, I'm gone. So all I do now is just sit around and just do a whole lot of nothing,
Well, that's good though,
trying to.
man, because you did a whole lot of stuff, man. But now you're doing this, man. So that's good.
This has been fun. It's kind of new. We're going to see how it goes, and see if anybody pick up on it. I'm not trying to take the world over or anything. I just wanted to talk to everybody because
Sure.
you know how it is when you're out somewhere and you're telling stories and you're doing this, and somebody will always go, "Hey, you should write a book about all this." And I thought I'd hear that over and over and over again, and I kept thinking, I don't want to write a book. That's too much education for me, and I just don't want to do it. And so I was talking to my cousin one day, and his name's Leo. Also, we were talking. He goes, "Dude," he goes, "do a podcast." And I went, "Well, I guess I could. I don't know." And so I started thinking about it, and I talked to Tracy. She said, "Yeah, maybe just do it." And so I put the word out, and I said, "What do y'all think?" And dude, it was like the floodgates opened, and everybody was just coming to me. I want to be on it. I want to be on it. I
Hell
want to be
yeah.
on it. And I and I said, "Okay, fine." And so we did it. And my rules were this: I had two simple rules. We're not talking politics, and we're not talking religion. Other than that, gates open. You can go batshit crazy as far as I'm concerned. I don't care. And my last one with Eric Love, he does that. He can go batshit crazy really fast, and he's nuts, but he's a great guy. But he's just funny to talk to. And I want those kind of people. And I've got people out in L.A. They've called and said, "Hey, we want to jump on it." And I said, "Okay, fine, we'll set it up." And so I'm just now putting everything in line so I can get everybody on, because it's just, I got a list over here of like 40 people I got to get
Well, yeah,
hold
you know
of.
enough people. Sure, man. Keep this thing going.
It, yeah, it was nuts. And, but I have a lot of people there's a lot of people out there that have their own podcasts that I'm big fans of. I like Joe Rogan. I like, there's,
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn's that does a great one. And, what's his name from Smashing Pumpkins? I just forgot his name.
Oh,
He's got one now
yeah.
that
I can't remember.
his is really good. He does a really good job with his. And I thought, I'm just watching these guys going, "Now, that's cool." But that wasn't what I was looking for. I just wanted to get back in touch with friends and talk to people and just say, "Hey, let's talk about the good old days and, and see how we're doing now. And if we're all old and sitting in rockers or, in wheelchairs."
Right. Right. You just got to have as much fun as you can, man. The older you get, man, the quicker it goes by. And
It
now
does, man. It blows by.
I'm fortunate now that I'm playing music full time, man. I think it's the first time in a long time that I've been able to do that. And so
Well, that's great, man. You're doing what you love to do, and
yeah, I mean,
you've always done. You've always been that way. You've always loved your music, and I respect that. I mean, you've always had that. You've just always been mad respect because you've always just had that love for it, and plus you're really good at it, and that's why I don't fucking like you anymore.
man, man, it's funny because I shy away from really going out and playing, especially on the guitar, sitting because I don't really know how to read. And if you've got a good player that knows all the chord structure and has theory, man, they can throw me off. It's like, keep it simple, drop it in A and let's just leave it, go from there. But I've been getting away with it though, so as long as I can
Hey,
get away with it.
if it works for you, man, just make it work. Because I know a lot of people that don't read music and don't do charts and stuff. They just get out there and play from the heart. They play from the feeling, and shit, I don't know how to read music. I tried that years and years ago, and I gave up. I
Right.
got a friend that I used to work with, Andrew, and he's a drummer too. And he went on a music scholarship to Pepperdine.
Oh man. Okay.
He took a full ride on a music scholarship, and the
Man.
dude's a great drummer. And I'll send you his link on his YouTube channel, and he does a lot of stuff. But he
Yeah.
reads though, and you can watch him because he keeps his notes up to his left, and he just glances at him to make sure he's on where he needs to be and everything. But he's one of those guys that I talk to him and I say, well, this, and I was like, shut up, don't talk to me about that. I don't know anything about music, reading,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I'm not doing all that, but
Man, it's amazing when
great.
they can read and play like that especially on like drums
I,
and
uh,
you got
Tell me
everything.
about it. I
Yeah.
mean, look at Kenny Aronoff. He charts all his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he hopped on a plane went out to play with Sammy Hagar when he jumped on with his band, and he listened to all the music on the plane flight and charted everything. When he got there, he was ready to go the next day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's one of the coolest individuals on the planet. I met him one time.
Oh yeah.
I think he was with Fogerty at a gig I was doing, and I was standing over there, and my lead camera operator came up, and she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm just watching over there because Kenny was finishing up and he was coming down." And she goes, "Who is that?" I said, "That's Kenny Aronoff." And I said, I'm just a fan. I like his music stuff." And she goes, "Hey, Kenny." And I was like, "I didn't mean for you to do that. I was just kind of admiring." And he comes walking over and he goes, "Hey, what's up?" And he goes, "Do you want to meet John Fogerty?" And I said, "No, I want to meet you." And he goes, "What?" And I said, "Yeah." I was like, "Come on, dude, you're Kenny Aronoff. Who doesn't want to meet you?" You know, well, anybody in what we do, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was just really nice. He was a cool guy. He was really nice, and he was just, you know, he was just, he said, just do what you do, man. Because I told him, I said, I admire you. You know, you read and you write music and stuff. He goes, "Nah." He goes, "You don't have to do all that stuff." He goes, "Half the people I know play by ear anyway." He said, "Some do, but most don't." And so that was that. I was always kind of put him on high. There's just so many of them out there that you've met. What drummers have you met that you've just really impressed by?
Oh man, like the one that really impressed me, Simon Phillips, man. I went to
Oh
several of his
yeah.
clinics. He's one dude, and I can't really remember. I mean, I'm sure that dude, he can play and he can chart, but what a nice guy and what a natural player, man. I mean, that dude, you could tell when people are playing from the heart, even the school, you could tell the school guys and the school guys, but you could tell the school guys from the guys that have the heart also. You know what I mean? It's just kind of
Mhm.
these guys that just play with feel, but they can read also. Because I've met guys that can play with music, but for some reason they have a hard time playing without the music. But Simon
Yeah.
Phillips is one guy, man. Uh, I met Carmine Appice once. He's a very interesting character. Uh,
Really?
oh yeah, great player though, man. Michael DeRozier from Heart, another clinic. When I get to go to the clinics, when you get to meet these
Wow.
guys,
Yeah.
and I remember, I was back when I was trying to figure out the tuning on my drum, especially the kick drum. Jason Bonham had a clinic out at Brook Mays when it was over off in Dallas, off of 35 out there in Mockingbird.
Hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
so I got to meet him, and I probably shouldn't ask, but I say, "Hey, man, you're a great player and all that." He was nice, but and when I asked him how his dad did the tuning, he BS'd me and basically told me the opposite of what it was. But I was able to figure it
Ah,
out.
he wasn't giving up the family
He
secret
didn't want
that
to give it
quick.
up at
Eh?
that time. Now it's out there. You could find it. The texts are out there talking about it. But back in those days. So
Uh,
yeah,
you
those are
mentioned
some of the guys.
you mentioned Brook Mays. God, man, I forgot. I hadn't thought about that place in years.
God, yeah,
That
yeah.
was you remember Tommy Knuckles out there?
Oh my God, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's since gone too.
Remember Tom?
God bless him. But
Right,
Tommy Knuckles, he bailed me out one time. I was doing the Budweiser Superfest at Reunion Arena when Reunion was still there,
right.
and it was just all these hodgepodge of bands that came in. It was, the Gap Band and oh shit, there was, I can't even think of all of them there, but the Gap Band stands out because they came in. They were a little late getting in, and I was just a PA for the event. So I'm just roaming. I'm just going, room to room, checking with everybody. And everything. And the promoter calls me into the office, and I go in and I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "We got a problem." And I said, "Okay, what's the problem?" He goes, "The Gap Band needs some backline gear." And I said, "Okay." I said, "What do they need?" And he goes, "Everything."
Mm,
And I said, "What do you mean everything?" He goes, "Amps, drums, uh, you know, everything." So the only thing they had was, of course, the guitar players had their guitars, the bass player had his, horn players got theirs. But what they did was their last show they did before they came to that one was they fired their trucking company and refused to pay them. And the trucking company goes, "Okay, screw you. When we get paid, you can have all your stuff back out of the truck." And they left
oh
and took
man.
all their stuff. And so here I am bouncing around from green room to green room talking to bands. And I said, "Hey, would any of you guys be interested in loaning the Gap Band some gear?" And probably the nicest thing I got was, "Man, white boy, get the fuck out of our our place right now. You're not getting anything." And I was like, "Okay, I'm off to the next one."
Oh,
And so I called Tommy Knuckles over Brook Mays, and he was just closing up. And I said, Tommy, are you still at the store? And he goes, yeah, I'm still here. And he goes, I said, well, I got a problem. He goes, what do you got? And I said, well, the Gap Band's here. And he goes, okay. And I said, they need backline. He goes, what do you need? And I read off the list, and he goes, damn. He goes, did they bring anything? And I said, yeah, they brought their guitars with them, but that's it. And so luckily he got it all packed up and shipped it down there to me, and we had no issues. But I mean, he saved the day. Thank God for that.
Yeah,
Because
no doubt, man.
if I'd have waited another 10 minutes, I would have never caught him, and they probably would never got to go on.
Yeah, yeah.
Those boys they were a mess. God, they were good, but they were a mess.
Oh, I can imagine, man.
I had to carry him up and put him on stage, and strap the instruments on him. And it was a rotating stage, and it had a divider in it. So one band's playing on the front, and we're setting the next band up on the back. And then when that band finishes, then we just rotate the stage, and the next band takes off. And then we stripe the backside and reset it again. But I just remember getting all those guys up on the stage, and we're just trying to keep them from falling off at this point,
Right.
because they're just in that situation. And when they spun that around, man, they ripped the roof off that place. I'd never seen anything like it. Those cats were, I mean, they were fucked up to the floor up. But when they turned around and the lights hit them, it was like somebody flipped the switch. And
Wow.
those guys tore that place down. And when they came back around, they all just collapsed where they stood, and we drug them back to the green room and put them away.
Man, that's awesome, man. But yeah, I love those bands from back in those days, man.
Yeah.
I used to have a friend. I didn't have a drum set, for I was playing through all high school, so I was having to play other people's. And I had a buddy of mine who saw me playing. I told him I didn't have a kit, so he said, "Come over to my house." He had a beautiful red Sparkle Ludwig, and so this black guy, he said, "You can play to my record." So he started turning me on to like Cameo and the Gap Band. So I would play drums to that and the Motown, and I'd bring my rock record over to him. And so that's how I kind of got a little bit of my groove too, was from playing from that type of music,
Yeah,
which was
a lot,
nice.
A lot of
Because those
drummers
are,
followed those guys. The guys in those drummers back there and those bands, they were
Insane.
killer.
yeah,
They were.
all
Those guys were
badass, man.
great, and people stole from them all the time. I'd listen to all those records too, and I was like, oh, that sounds good. Might be able to put that in there in this place and do that. And yeah, I mean, it was just a knockoff, is all it was. You just stole from them, because, like they said, some of the greatest ideas were somebody else's first, and those guys just kind of paved the way for a lot of rock players. They picked a lot of that
Yeah,
stuff up.
yeah,
Dave Grohl's like that. He admitted it. He goes, man, I listened to all those guys back in the day. That's how I got. He goes, if you listen to this song, this Nirvana song, you'll pick up the pattern. And somebody goes, you're right, you did. You were just kind of copying him. And I don't remember which drummer. I think you made Earth, Wind, and Fire, or it was one of those guys.
yeah.
But but he just took it and he just kind of built on it, and just turned it into rock and roll. But he said that's where I got a lot of my stuff from,
Right.
which is kind of cool. I did the same, but I just don't play anymore. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I'm lucky.
mine are collecting dust.
Hey, man, if I'm doing this in this room till I drop dead, I'll be happy, man. If I never get out of this room.
Yeah.
I've
And
always
if you
been,
notice behind,
yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you notice behind me, the door has opened again
Oh,
to the
yeah.
studio.
Yeah, I
And
saw that.
he's here somewhere. I know he's creeping. Come here. No, he won't come up here. I usually try to get him to jump up here, but he won't do it. So he's laying on the floor. He's making sure nobody gets to me. So, and I do appreciate you opening the door again, you knucklehead.
Right? Yeah, but
Gotta love him.
these drums back here, man, these are the same ones I used in the Hindenburg back in the day, man. They're
Dude, that's a great sounding kit.
yeah, they still sound really good, man. The Ludwig vintage rockers, Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still doing the trick. That's for sure.
Hey, as long as they're still doing the trick.
Hell yeah, you gotta
Mine
go
are back.
by when you come out to Dallas and check it out one day, man. Yeah, come in here and
I'm gonna
clock
have
it
to
in.
one of these days. When I can get back out and drive again, I'll do that.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm hoping to put something together live, man. Finding the right guys. That's just the problem, man. It's finding the right people. So, we'll see. You know.
Especially at our age, it's trying to find the right people,
Yeah,
because it's
yeah. So, I'll work it out one way or another. If I have to do tracks eventually where I play backing and I just do everything myself and take all this crap with me out there, who the
just
hell
get one of
knows?
those things that just just record a loop and save it, and then let that loop play, and then, just loop the next one and just keep creating loops all the way through it. And
Yeah,
like
just
half these guys are doing now. So, you know,
yeah.
if it works, it works.
You know, and I've never been. I never really liked playing in front of people. I was always so nervous, man. That was the one thing. I did it because I love playing, but man, I just did not like getting up in front of people, man, for some reason. But I did it.
I, I kind of feel the same way sometimes because it just, you just didn't know, because I used to go to a lot of the blues jams and stuff,
Yeah,
and I had a lot of friends that their bands were hosting or something like that, and you just didn't know who you're going to run into. And so I was kind of really kind of squeamish about the whole thing too. And, but because, I forget, we were playing somewhere one night and they had me fill in, and Chuck Rainey got up, played bass, and I
oh,
went,
wow.
nope, I'm out of here. And no, the guys were going, no, 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 you sit down, you sit down. And Chuck goes, where are you going? I said, no, you're not even, because he's so far out of I'm so far out of his league, I should say. He's not out of mine. I'm out of his by miles. And it's nerve wracking. It
I
really
can
is.
imagine. Sure.
And so, but even if you saw people out in the audience, you might have recognized it. It's just nerve wracking all the time. So I get that, where
Yeah.
it's kind of hard playing in front of people sometimes. Plus,
Yeah.
some of our friends can be a bunch of asses too. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
come up,
Thank God some of them
hey
are.
man, I wouldn't hey man, I wouldn't have played that. That sounded like shit. I wouldn't have done that. But I was like, shut up.
Oh man. But yeah, the guitar show coming this year should be pretty cool, man. And like I said, through the years playing, man, you wonder where these guys, come from, man. There was one kid playing, and I was like, I never heard of him, but this guy, it's like, where these kids come from. But if every year there's something out there, and that's what's helped me, go, well, man, it's not like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. It's like, well, if I can do it and carry the spirit of what I want it to do, you know what I mean? I know I can never
Mm.
play like, Bonham and these guys, but I like to play in their spirit, the heaviness of it and the
Yeah,
attitude and all that.
sure. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I know there's never going to be another Bonham, but shit, if I can get that, what he had and kind of come across my way, and if people say, "Hey, man, you sound like him," or "You sound like," yeah, the hell yeah, I've been listening to these guys all my life, man. It's
Yeah,
been a
and
great
it's not like
feeling.
you're trying to get up there and sound exactly like him. You're just like you said, you're just trying to play it in the spirit of it, and
Yeah,
keep it
exactly.
going. And
Yeah.
you've done well at that. I
Well,
mean,
I appreciate it, man.
you played in a Zeppelin cover band, and I thought, when you told me that, I was like, man, he's got a set as big as church bells. Man, he's gonna go in there and play Bonham music. Damn.
It
But
was a blast, though,
you
man. I
got
tell you.
oh, you guys pulled it off. I mean, you guys, without a doubt, you guys pulled that off. You guys sounded great. Who sang? I don't remember who sang.
Well, Eddie Posey, the guitar player. We
Okay, that's okay.
remember we
Eddie
were
did.
just three piece. It was
Yeah, I
me,
remember there was three.
Ed Johnson, Eddie, and yeah, just the three of us, man. It was fun though. But the whole thing, man, is I stopped drinking back then because we started playing so much. And I found myself getting home at 3 in the morning, having to get up at 7 the next day and going, well, wait a minute, something's got to give. Either I give that up for a while and keep playing because I couldn't do both. I was just one of those all or nothing kind of guys, man. I'm going to go all out.
Mm.
And then the next day you pay for
You-
it. But then after a few days of that, you're like, okay, man, I can't keep. So I gave it up cold turkey, man. And we played all those years, man. So there were
Yes, you
people that
did.
would
You were
say, "Man, you sure raised a lot of hell last night. What the hell were you drinking?" I said, "Dude, I haven't drank in years." Man, they're like,
you didn't need to drink to raise hell.
"No,
That was your thing. You did not need to drink to raise hell.
no, man.
You were,
It's
I mean, you were wound tight. And then when you come out and people go, "What's he on?" I said, "He ain't on anything. He's on Leo. That's what it is. He just."
I'm still wound up pretty tight, man. That's why
I
I got
think I
all
said.
this. Plus, I got my little hookah over here too. That helps me
Uh
out.
oh, the little hookah. Yeah, the, the little hookah does help sometimes. So
Hell yeah, man. You got to get it going.
got to do it.
Good,
So
yeah. But yeah, and then,
what?
I just kind of got this out, because I've been trying to, that's the thing, it takes me longer. I've got some stuff that I played on some of my tracks, that's the keyboard, but but a buddy of mine showed me how to transpose it so I can kind of cheat a little bit.
Hmm.
So it has helped me a little bit. But let me see. I don't even remember because I just did a new track. So anyway, can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
See, I like to strike this thing like I'm gonna break it. But this is a beautiful thing right here. I bought this in 1991, man, for 189
Wow.
bucks, a Fender Strat. Can you believe that?
Jeez.
And the other thing, when you hear the bass, this is what I play the bass on as well.
Oh really?
Because the bass is the neck is so big, my hands aren't all that big, you know. So I found an electronic harmonic pod pedal that a buddy turned me on to, and he said, "Hey, you can use this and make all your bass sounds."
Oh
So
cool.
when people hear it and they go, "How is that a Strat?" I said, "Well, I got it dialed in just right, you know, because I got to be able to play to match the guitar sometimes, you know. When I was playing a
Yeah.
regular four-string bass, man, I just could not do what I wanted to do. So I kind of cheat, but I tell the truth, even when I lie.
Got to fool him again.
Yeah.
That's Leo. Well, it looks like the clock's ticking us, man. Getting ready to run out of time. But hey, we're gonna do this again
Well,
one of
dude,
these
I
days.
appreciate
I'm gonna get you back next time you get the next song published and up and running on
it.
something. We're gonna.
Next time I play, I'll have something ready, and I'll play the guitar along to the track to show you what I do over here. Maybe we can do that if you want. I mean, whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah, that's cool. Sure. Yeah, whatever you want to do. I mean, anytime you want to just jump up and start playing or something, like I said, it's no holds barred on this thing. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and I'll let you know
Just
when I get
don't.
the live thing going too, man. Hopefully we can.
Yeah, definitely. And we get you out and plug and all that stuff too. Want everybody to come out and see you. He's well worth the trip. I can tell you that, folks.
No, I appreciate.
Depends on what you're playing. If you're playing drums, yes. I've never seen you play guitar live, so
Yeah.
but I've seen you play the drums live, and you certainly you convinced me you knew what the hell you were doing because I went
Well, I
I was
appreciate
like
that.
what a butthead. Oh God.
Man,
It was fun, dude. It's been a ride. I can tell you that. I know we didn't tell a tenth of what we did when we were out messing around, but
it's
well,
my fault. I'm still tippy toeing a little bit.
that's okay. That's okay. Everybody is right now, and I tell everybody just open up, do whatever you want to do. But everybody's kind of tippy toeing a little bit. I've done it. I've even done it where there's certain things I don't bring up, and unless I talked to you before, because now the last guy he said you can talk about anything you want to. And I was like, "Don't do that." And he said, "Yeah, we're going to talk about it." And I was like, "Oh God!" And he's got stories on me that are, you'll have to watch that one.
Yeah,
They'll
I'll
be
check it
posted
out
up
for
next
sure,
week.
man.
We'll get these posted up next week, and you can watch that one because he's funny. But
Absolutely.
yeah, we did one earlier, and something happened to his mic or something, and he all of a sudden he just had this wicked delay. So every time he said something, it was an echo, and he would say it, and then you hear it two more times, and then it was just. And man, I tried to fix it in post. I tried to work. I could not get it out of there, so we redid it. But the first one was the greatest because we talked about all kinds of stuff that I didn't think we could talk about.
Right.
I mean, there was even legal stuff. I went, nope, stop. No, we can't talk about that.
Right. Right.
That was
Right.
still ongoing. So nope, can't talk about that.
Oh man. Yeah.
But dude, hey, really, I appreciate you taking the time today to get on and talk to me about
No, dude.
this. And
Anytime, man.
again, man, you're one of the greats. You're a
Oh,
dear friend of mine. I love you.
I love
You've
you too,
you've
buddy.
always been there, and you've always been there. And I think we've had a good time together. And we'll keep on doing it. We'll get back together so we can spill some more beans on somebody. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Hey, so but
Yeah. That sounds good.
so everybody, once again, my friend and the world famous Leo Arzon, right there.
Thank
You
you so
guys.
much.
It was my pleasure. It was an honor to have you on here. And folks, just keep watching. We'll start posting next week. We'll start having these up, and you guys can start checking them out. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming out and checking it out. You, Leo, thank you very much.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
And in the wonderful worlds of our dear friend Mr. Scott Rogers, We will see you down the road. Y'all take care. We'll see you soon.
Thank
Thanks.
you, man. Appreciate it.